According to Adrian Wojnarowski, OG Anunoby has agreed to a 5-year deal for $212 million. It's actually $212.5 million. This deal will pay him about a little bit over $42 million per year for the next 5 years. They have also agreed to include a player option and a trade kicker in this deal. It'll be interesting when OG would be able to exercise a player option. I'm guessing that's probably going to be after year 4. Usually they put in the player option a year or two before the contract is fully over. It'll definitely be interesting to see if he would exercise the player option a few years from now, but we'll see. I think things are hard to predict, especially when it comes to injuries and whatnot. But if he's playing at a high level these next few years, I think he'll definitely exercise that option and get a new contract, whether it's from the Knicks or from some other team. But the way I view this deal is not so much how much the Knicks paid him for, because it's really hard to judge these contracts right now if they're overpay. Now, if this was like 5 years ago, I would say absolutely this is an overpay. Not even LeBron James is getting this type of money, but it's different now because these types of deals are going to be the norm for players like OG who have that same type of talent level. Whereas you're going to start seeing ridiculous max contracts for legit superstars like Victor, Luka, all these other guys down the line that's going to pay something ridiculous like 70 to 80 million or even 90 million a year. We're getting very close to those types of deals in the next few years. When you compare it to those types of deals in the future, then I don't think it's going to be considered an overpay. Because if you think about it, 40 million a year versus a superstar who will probably be getting 70 to 90 million a few years. When you compare it to a superstar, that seems about right when you adjust the market. That's why I don't think this will be an overpay, but this could be an overpay if OG doesn't remain healthy. That's my biggest qualm with him is his injuries are really weird. He gets hurt over some weird stuff, just like it'll be nagging injuries that'll keep him out for games. I'm just gonna pull up his stats and whatnot. But if you look at it, he hasn't ever played more than 70 games in his whole entire career since his rookie year. And if we're just looking at after, just like he's had 2 seasons in Toronto where he played less than 50 games. Then you look at the last year or so in New York. Well, the total amount of games he played this season, I believe, was he only played 50 games this season, whereas last year he played 67. But prior to last year, he had a season where he played 48, 43 games. My biggest concern with him is just his injuries. And can he stay healthy enough? Can this man at least play 60-some games? If he can achieve that, then this is a very good contract. But if he's on average playing less than 60 games per year, then this to me is going to be a bad deal. So it comes down to health. It really is going to come down to health, whether or not this deal was worth it in my eyes. But if he remains healthy, I do like the deal. I think this deal gives the Knicks a lot of versatility on the defensive end. I think maybe the best in the league when you look at who they can throw at teams now. You have OG, you have Mikal Bridges, and you have Josh Hart, who I feel is an elite defender on the perimeter as a guard. He can guard the quick small guards while OG and Bridges can guard the taller, more athletic perimeter players. So it's a good mix they have. And then you have DiVincenzo, who's also a pretty good defensive player and good at guarding the small, quick guards. Knicks have a lot of versatility on the perimeter just to guard people now with just OG in the equation being back in there compared to most teams in the league. I don't think there's any other team that has this type of defensive versatility besides the Boston Celtics, to be honest. It gives the Knicks really a good chance to go on a special run in the next few years. They can have a magical run where they possibly get to the finals. It wouldn't surprise me. Now, can they win it all? That remains to be seen by what's happening in the West, to be honest. That's the way I look at it. But the Knicks, they have put themselves in a position now with this signing to be one of the contenders in the East. Definitely a team I feel that can challenge the Celtics right now. Just they're going all in. I feel these next 3-4 years is really for the Knicks to see how far they can go. Hopefully they remain healthy, but I think that's what they're going all in for now. They're betting everything that they can steal possibly a title in the next 3 to 4 years. They can get one, at least one. I believe the Knicks can go to the finals at least one time in the next 3 4 years. These signings and trades will be a success. I know people are going to say, why don't you say championship? I don't say championship as a success because it's very hard to win one. If you get to the finals, which is something the Knicks haven't done in 25 years, I think then it's considered a success that they were able to get back there after such a long time. But this is an exciting time in Knicks basketball, I feel, for their fans. It's probably the first time in a few decades where they have a legit elite team, I would say now, that if they stay healthy, they can be good for the rest of this decade, I believe. So it comes down to health, and hopefully they do remain healthy. I think the league is always more entertaining when the Knicks are great. So this will be very exciting to watch how this team gels and meshes with all these guys in play now. That's all I have to say.